Hi everybody, it's the author Adam Bushnell. Thank you so much for joining me on day 6 of our live storytelling. It's fantastic to see you here and I've been overwhelmed with the response. I'm so happy that people are tuning in, that people are watching and that you're enjoying the stories. What I'm really enjoying is being sent your incredible writing and pictures and models as well. This is new. Now, I'm going to show you from my iPad these two first pictures, sea monsters, and they are by Olivia and Alice Beardmore. Fantastic job there, girls, well done. Next we have here, it is Easter, and in a lot of UK schools we have Easter egg competitions. We're doing them at home as well. This is by Matilda, who has created this incredible model, and over here this is Oliver Heaviside, who sent just the most awesome story there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll read you the beginning. Everybody knows what ketchup is, right? You know, like tomato sauce. Yeah, well, it's just the same stuff. Anyway, Captain Ketchup is, you guessed it, a ketchup bottle, and he is full of his kind, and he's king of his kind. His full title is Ketchup King, Captain Ketchup. And then it goes on for a narrative superhero story. I loved reading it. Thank you so much for sending me that. Next, look at the incredible detail of this treasure map by Nina. Can you see that there? It's just awesome. My favorite feature is zombie sheep. How cool is that? Absolutely love it. Next, we have got, this is by Adrian DeLucas, who also sent me Fred the Evil Dog, and over here we have got this one-eyed creature with a narrative story that goes with it. Absolutely love it, based on the Cyclops story that we had. Over here we have Harry Horner, who's 4 years old, who drew this dragon. I think that's an amazing job, and that's based upon one of my other posts of how to draw a dragon. Check it out on the YouTube channel. And then we have here Olivia Bates sent me a fire-breathing dragon and also a story that went with it as well. Thank you so much for that. I really enjoyed reading it. Then we have here by Harrison Joplin, a superhero and the sea monster from the story that we had the other day as well. Fantastic job there. Well done to you. Then this is by Luna. She's created a pig monster, beastifying a pig, like Friday's story. And then we have got Ella in Carlton. She's sent me this sea monster with some people who are saying, shh, they're trying to hide from the sea monster, just like in the story. Thea from Hartlepool has sent me Izzy Wizzy Superhero. How cool is that? And Izzy Wizzy has a cool super dog with an amazing sense of smell. Then we have Isaac has sent me his fire parrot. How cool is that? I love that fire parrot. Well done, Isaac. Then we have got Heidi Towers, age 8, has recreated the cover of one of my books, Quests and Epica. I love it. And I think my illustrator, Ross Collins, might love it too. Then we have, over here, we've got Jacob from Acre Rig has sent me this pig monster, just like in the story again that we had on Friday. Sophie Brown from Emmaville has sent me the Nefarious Narwhal. Loved that. Celia DeLucas, who's age 5 from St. Godric's, has sent me her evil bunny rabbit, but she's also shown herself as having superpowers to defeat it. Then George Garman from Ponteland has created this Lego model of a monster, which I absolutely love. We have then, that's a photograph of my dog, we won't show that. Then we have here Rainbow Girl and the Evil Bunny Story by Jasmine from Oxclose School. Don't know if you can see Rainbow Girl there, but she's looking pretty cool. And finally, this is by Finley Burden, who has beastified a bee. Look how awesome that is, and described it too. So well done, all of you guys. I did say that I would just read out the first ones that I was sent, but I just couldn't resist reading as many as I possibly could. Now, There's a bit of a monster theme on this YouTube channel, and today I thought I would have another monster story, but a different kind of monster story. See if you can recognize some of these monsters. This is part human, part wolf. Can you tell the person near you what monster is that? Tell one of your friends if you're at school. Tell somebody in your family, do you recognize that monster? See if you get it right. 3 seconds. It is a werewolf, and stories from those originated from Germany. Next one. See if you can recognize this one. You get stories about these creatures all over the world. It's a bird made of flames and fire, and it can never die. Anybody know what that is? 3 seconds. It is a phoenix, but if you called it a firebird or a Bennu bird, as the ancient Egyptians described it, then that would be correct as well. Next one. I'm going to go for a tricky one this time. It's got the head of a lion's body with bat's wings, and a tail of a scorpion. Anybody recognize that one? Crazy creature. 3 seconds, everyone. If you get this right, I'll be really impressed. This one is called a manticore. A manticore. Next one. Now, the rest of these are all ancient Greek creatures. This is a lady with snakes for hair. One look, she can turn you to stone. And her name is... Well done to those who got it right. That one is Medusa. This one is part human, part bull. Anyone recognize that one? 3 seconds again. That one is the Minotaur. Next, we have a three-headed dog, known in Harry Potter as Fluffy, but that wasn't its real name. And in the original story, it was meant to have a snake for a tail. This one, 3 seconds. Anybody know? It is Cerberus. Cerberus. Originally called Kerberos, but then the Romans renamed it Cerberus. Do you recognize this one? Part human, part horse. Featured in the Percy Jackson films and books. Also featured in Harry Potter. It is called that one is a centaur. A centaur. Then this one is a flying horse. But it is an evil flying horse, a flesh-eating flying horse. That one is known as the Mare of Diomedes. The Mare of Diomedes. Looks an awful lot like this one, who isn't an evil creature at all, but is actually a good creature and is going to feature in the story that I tell today. This is, anybody know it? Who said unicorn? It's not a unicorn because it doesn't have a horn on its head. This one is Pegasus. But the creature that we're going to hear about today is this one, which has got goat's horns. It's got the head and claws of a lion. And at the back, it's got a dragon sort of creature, but it's meant to be a snake. It is a fire-breathing creature from ancient Greece, and its name is the Chimera. The Chimera. And it is the Chimera that we're going to have a story about today. And the hero is this ancient Greek hero whose name was Bellerophon. And Bellerophon was lucky enough to ride on the back of Pegasus, the flying horse. It wasn't Perseus, as lots of people think, that rode on the back of Pegasus, but rather Bellerophon. Now, what happened was, a long time ago, there was a king. And this king, well, he had a problem. He had a monstrous sort of a problem. The problem was that the Chimera was a monster that had moved into his kingdom. And the Chimera had the lion's head, had the body of a goat, but also had a goat's head sticking out of its back. And it had the tail of a snake. It could see all around. It could see in front of it with the lion's head. It could see above it with the goat's body and head. It could see behind it with the snake's tail. And from all three of those heads, it could breathe out fire. Now this king, he wanted to get rid of this creature, so he sent for his greatest champion, Bellerophon. He called, "Bellerophon, can you defeat the Chimera?" Well, Bellerophon stood before the king, and as he stood there, he puffed out his chest. He tried to look as heroic as he possibly could, and he said, I don't really know. I might need to go and get some help. It sounds like a terrifying creature. So Bellerophon went off to go and see a wise old man. He knocked at the wise old man's door. The wise old man, the ancient, toothless old man, opened the door himself and said, "Hello. What can I do for you, Bellerophon?" Bellerophon said, "I need to defeat the Chimera. Have you any advice for me?" No. You don't want to fight the Chimera. It's got the head of a lion, so it can see in front of it. It's got the body of a goat with a goat's head sticking out of its back, and it can see all around it. It's got the tail of a snake, which means it can see around it. The only way you'll be able to get even close to it is if you can fly. Can you fly, Bellerophon? Bellerophon looked heroic once more and said, No, I can't, no. What will I do? Well, the wise old man thought for a second and said, "Have you heard of a hero called Perseus who killed a creature called Medusa?" Bellerophon said, "Of course, everybody's heard that story." Well, when Perseus was flying with his winged sandals over the land, carrying Medusa's head in a sack, drops of blood came dripping down to the floor from Medusa's head. And Medusa had a baby in this way. Born from Medusa's blood was a flying winged white horse called Pegasus. Nobody has been able to tame Pegasus, but I've been working on this. And he pulled out a golden saddle. It was shining in the dim light. And Bellerophon said, "Is that saddle made for Pegasus?" "This is no ordinary saddle. For this saddle is a magical saddle. If you get that saddle onto Pegasus's back, he will become your pet." Bellerophon said, "Oh, thank you very much. That's fantastic. Can I take it? Can I borrow it?" The old man said, "You can have it. For it is you who will defeat the Chimera. Go, my son." Bellerophon said, "Thank you very much." And with the golden saddle under his arm, he was about to set off when he turned around and said, "Wait a minute, where will I find Pegasus?" "Every night," the wise old man said, "when the moon is full, Pegasus flies to the top of that mountain in the distance. Up there is a crystal clear lake. Pegasus drinks from that lake when the moon is full." Bellerophon said, "Thank you very much. I really appreciate this. I feel like you've done all the hard work. It's over to me, and I think it'll be easy, actually, to kill the Chimera once I'm in the air, because all I'll do is I'll shoot arrows or throw spears at it. Easy job. If the king rewards me, I'll make sure I come back here." Well, anyway, Bellerophon went straight off to the mountain, and he spent all the rest of that day climbing the mountain. And by the time it was dark, he'd reached the very top. When he got there, he hid in the trees and in the bushes. The moon was full. Silver light came spilling down onto the crystal clear lake that was up there. Bellerophon heard the flapping of wings, and sure enough, the beautiful winged horse Pegasus came landing softly on the ground. It lowered its head and it began to drink from the lake. Bellerophon took in a deep breath. He sneaked up behind Pegasus, and while the horse was drinking, he slid the golden saddle down on its back. Pegasus then bowed down low to Bellerophon. Bellerophon leapt upon Pegasus's back, and they flew off into the sky. They flew all night long. They flew across the silver sky, and they flew until it was morning, whereupon they flew to Bellerophon's house and collected 5 spears. They then took to the air once more and went searching for the Chimera. It did not take them long to find it. The Chimera was busy burning down a farm nearby, so Pegasus and Bellerophon swooped down. Bellerophon got the first spear and he threw it. But the goat's head looked up, saw them coming. It whirled its lion's head around. It let out a burst of flames, and that spear exploded into splinters before it even got near to the Chimera. So Bellerophon flew round the back of the Chimera, and this time he launched 3 spears, one after the other. but the snake's tail saw him coming. He whirled its lion's head around, let out more flames, and those 3 spears exploded into splinters. Bellerophon only had 1 spear left. He swooped off into the distance and thought as hard as he could, and then he had an idea. He flew off to a lead mine that was nearby. Now, lead is a kind of squishy metal that they used to make pencils out of. And lead is poisonous if you were to taste it. So Bellerophon collected a large lump of lead. He stuck it on the end of his final spear. He flew Pegasus back to the Chimera. He threw the spear. Of course, the Chimera saw him coming. Of course, the Chimera let out more flames. The spear exploded into splinters. But that piece of lead, that squishy bit of metal, went into the Chimera's mouth, went down its throat and into its belly, poisoned it, and it instantly fell down dead. Blech. Bellerophon was delighted. He flew Pegasus over to the king, and the king was even more delighted. The king declared that Bellerophon was the greatest hero of that kingdom and gave him a box of golden coins. And did Bellerophon share those golden coins with the wise old man who helped him? No, he did not. In fact, Bellerophon bought himself the most expensive clothes and armor, the most expensive weapons, because after all, the greatest hero of that kingdom should absolutely look the part. And when Bellerophon saw himself in the mirror with that glittering golden armor, he thought to himself that he looked rather like a god. And so he jumped on Pegasus's back, and he flew Pegasus all the way to the top of Mount Olympus, where the gods themselves live. He dismounted Pegasus. He strode over to the king and queen of heaven, to Zeus and to Hera. And this human marched up to the king of the gods and said, "My name is Bellerophon. I am the greatest hero that Earth has ever seen, and you should make me a god." Well, Zeus did not like being told what to do, so he took one of his famous thunderbolts and he threw it at Bellerophon and blew him up into tiny little pieces. But when Zeus, the king of the gods, saw Pegasus standing there, he declared it to be a beautiful animal, an animal so beautiful that it was too beautiful for Earth. And so Pegasus, the flying horse, got to live on top of Mount Olympus with all of the gods. And as far as I know, he lives there still, happily ever after. Now, boys and girls, with that story, what I thought you could do at home is to design your own crazy, mixed up mythical creature. In fact, if you're on the live chat, type in some names of animals. For example, you might want a crazy creature that's not mixed with a lion or a goat or a snake. You might want to mix together an octopus with an eagle. Or perhaps you might want to mix together a dog with a cat with a sheep. Type in some animals on the live chat and I'll try and draw my own mixed up crazy creature on here. Now, the Chimera had the head of a lion. Which head shall we do on here? I think we'll go for, it's basically people wanting shout outs. Okay, I'm going to just make up my own then instead. I'm going to start with the head of a, let's go for, thank you very much, Mrs. Robinson, the head of a dog. Then I'm going to, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to give it eagle's wings. Thank you, Grace Wells. And then I'm going to give it, oh, yes, Mrs. Parlett, I think a scorpion tail would be fantastic. And scorpion as well from the lovely Miss York there. Ooh, what about body of a snake? That's a good idea. Give it a snake's body there, and I'll maybe change the tongue. There we go. Then rabbit's back legs, that's a good idea. Octopus tentacles, T-Rex and a Triceratops. I'm going to have to stop taking them from there. Let's give it horns like a Triceratops. Let's give it back legs like a bunny rabbit. And then after that, let's put a unicorn horn on. Fantastic ideas from the live chat. Well done. Now, is that the most fearsome creature you have ever seen in your life? No? In that case, I shall make it scary. What will I call it? I might call it the... I might take a human body part, but not a rude one. I don't want bum, for example. Instead, I could take a human body part and then come up with a verb, an action, a doing word to go with it that ends in er. For example, I could call it head chopper, ear puller, nose twister, eyeball popper, skin peeler, blood drinker. That could be the name of my creature. And then you could make up a story about this creature as well and share it with your family. How could this creature be defeated? What magical creature could help you to defeat it, like Pegasus the flying horse? In fact, we are on lockdown here pretty much across the whole of the world, and so people have a lot of time on their hands. So much time that I've created a creature for you. This has the nose of an elephant, with the head and front legs of a giraffe, followed by the body of a tiger, with the back legs of a zebra, and finally, the tail of a lion. What do you think of this creature? Is that the most scary mythical creature that you have ever seen? No, perhaps not. So can you design a scarier one? And then could you give it strange and magical powers like being able to shoot out fire or ice or lightning? Design your own mythical creature and then send them to me, either on Twitter. You can email me via the website, adambushnell.com. You can get in touch on Facebook, get in touch on Instagram. You can get in touch however it is easier for you. Now, Thursday is going to be our next live storytelling session, which I shall look forward to seeing everybody there. Another thing that I'm going to start doing as well is I've been getting a lot of messages from people saying we can't get your books because the libraries are closed, or we can't get hold of your books because our schools are not open, and we can't spend a fortune on books, and you do not have to. I'm going to start recording a chapter at a time, and I'm going to launch these on YouTube. These won't be live videos. These will be videos you can watch anytime. And I've been asked if I could start with the book Quests in Epica. So Quests in Epica, chapter 1 should be on my YouTube channel as from tomorrow. And see if you can join in, have a little listen. Remember, we're not allowed to leave our houses, but books take you to magical places. And the place that I'd like to take you is to Epica, a land of monsters, a land of witches and giants and crazy things that happen. And so join me for chapter 1 of Epica, which will be on my YouTube channel tomorrow, but also please do join in on Thursday for the live storytelling session. In that session, I think we're going to have a story about Cerberus, the three-headed devil dog who guards the gates of Hades, where Hades, the god of the dead, lives. In the meantime, if you don't want to send me a picture of a creature that you've created, as I've said before, send me a story. Always love to read those. But what you can also do as well is maybe show me where you like to read in your house or in your garden. There are these things in schools called extreme reading competitions, where people have photographs of themselves in strange places, reading books. Well, maybe we could do that, but in our homes. Send me some ideas of what you would like to do. And if you don't want to send photos, that's all right. You can just tell me. Tell me where you like to read a book. Do you like to read the book in the bath? Do you like to read the books being pegged to a washing line? Do you like to read your books to your pets? Do you like to read books to your toys? Let me know all about where you like to read books and send me your pictures that you've drawn of monsters, etc., etc. Right, everybody, over to shout outs. First of all, shout out to Luna, who's 5 years old from West Cornforth Primary School. Hello to you. Shout out to Jazz, who's 10 years old from Lumley Juniors. Shout out to Oscar, George and Arthur and their awesome mum. Shout out to Freddie Fort, age 7 from St. Bede's in Sacriston. Shout out to Alison, Andrew, Kitty and Robert. You know who you are. Shout out to my newest subscribers from Vietnam. Whoop, whoop. And shout out to the British Vietnamese International School. Shout out to Henry G from Brownie Academy. Shout out to Rudy Howe, who's age 4. And to George Garman, age 6 from Ponteland Primary School. Shout out to everybody at Victoria Lane Academy. Stay awesome, you guys. Shout out to Tyler Armstrong, to Lily Armstrong, to Matthew Elliott, to Darcy English, to Bella Fiddis, to Kai Robinson, and to Livia Ward. You know who you are. And shout out to Mrs. Pearson, Lisa, and to all of the children of St. John's Primary School in Shildon. Hello to all of you. So don't forget, join me here live on Thursday for our story about Cerberus the Devil Dog, but also check out Quests and Epica, which is coming to my YouTube channel soon. Thanks very much for tuning in and have a lovely day the rest of it. Bye for now. Bye.